Here's a really big one that I wanted to talk about, and I hope that, man, I hope this video gets traction. The only way it's going to do that is with your help. Watch through the whole video, even if you can't stand it, and maybe it'll get some traction to get this game seen by more people. But I think this game is going to be really important in setting a certain tone for the next few years to come. But I think this is a really good one to watch with you guys, and I'm gonna let this play in the background and just gonna give my commentary as we go here. This is called God Save Birmingham. It's a zombie survival game. Yeah, I'm giving you that information up front. Hopefully you can help me out here. But I think it's a really interesting concept, and I kind of wanted to talk about what people are saying about this. Now, some people are saying, so you got your thirst and your hunger up here. You can't see that on the screen, but it's up there. So you got to worry about being thirsty, hungry, and if you've played stuff like more hardcore survival games, it feels like this is going to be slightly like that. Like more hardcore, more about the player experience.
God have mercy.
It looks so good. Some of the stuff people have been saying, though, is they don't like how slow it is. But I just think haven't we had enough of your fast-paced, ADD, run all over the place, like cartoonish? Like, haven't we had enough of this? Haven't we had enough of this, like, oh no, don't worry, I'm a mutant with superpowers. I can jump 40 feet in the air. I can, it's not like a real survival game. It's cartoonish and outlandish and stupid and fucking, like, I actually do want a more slow-paced, like, grindy, like, maybe even team-focused, like, game. You know, Project Zomboid is a very difficult game to learn, but it's very rewarding. It's very fun, but it doesn't give you this level of, you know, graphics or stuff like that. And to those people's credit, I will say a lot of them will say, well, graphics doesn't matter. Graphics shouldn't matter. To which I will say, why can't we have both? And I do think that this game will end up providing, you know, your skill trees and your character focus, like a deep, rich experience that's more slow. But, like, I don't know why slow has to be such a bad thing for people. This game is supposed to be really dynamic. The world kind of, like, moves around you. And, you know, you'll get sick, or I mean, look at him struggling just to get up here. If there were zombies nipping at him there, that would have been more difficult. It'd probably be like a quick time event. Oh, shit. The character is very exhausted. It says up here in the corner. Hopefully he can remove the ladder. Fuck. Absolutely. Okay. The physics just being physical. That's not good. Leg injury. Now, there's a little bit of stuff up here in the corner that you can't see. It's got, like, your hunger, thirst, your elements, your debuffs. But it's like, this feels like a game that I'd love to play. It feels very, you know, it's not like super mutant zombies, acid spitting, like running down the street and everything's ADD. But then again, I play turn-based strategy games. I play 4X games, and I don't get bored. Some people can't handle playing a slower game, and even to me, this doesn't feel. I mean, I get, ironically, he is moving very slow, but I'm saying this has action, this has suspense, this has you thinking of what you need to do next. You know, this has dynamic stuff that would keep you interested more than a 4X game. But it just kind of feels like, now that's cool. He's going to sit down and have himself a little meal, maybe. I haven't seen this yet. I'm seeing it just like you are. Porridge pot. That's fucking sick, dude. And I bet this is authentic. I bet that they really put their time and effort and research into this. Look at that. Come on. But this game is, I'm not kidding. The comments for this game and for the trailer, not great, man. People do not, they're not hyped. They're not hyped. They think it's slow. They think it's like whatever. But oh, more zombies. Another zombie survival. Well, all Survivor games, every time they make a survival game, like without base defense or without, you look at Factorio. Everyone was, you know, real geared up. It's like the base protection aspect, or Satisfactory. That game said, hey, we're not gonna have any kind of like base defense mechanics, and people were like, why not? I just kind of feel like on some level, why not have a game that's maybe a little harder, slower, more dynamic? This is so fucking cool. This is so fucking cool. Now he's drunk. It's got a lot of effects in this game. A lot of debuffs. I bet you can get sick. Too cold, too warm. You know, the only other game like this that we have would be 7 Days to Die, in my opinion. And yeah, that one's more fantastic. It keeps people interested because 7 Days to Die is, like those games I'm describing, very, you know, like, it can't just be a thing that exists. You know? It can't be a thing that you're playing where you don't have the ADD stuff. And why am I against the ADD stuff? Because I don't think, in my opinion, that all games have to have it. The negative reception that I saw in this, and the reason why I wanted to make it, was I felt like, damn, you know, those people are really out there trying to ruin something that is so good and so well put together. The studio clearly cares. They put so much time and effort into this game, and I encourage you to look more up about it and make your own assumptions. But I was like, man, they're really out here bashing the shit out of this game for not just being a fucking child's like ADD fidget toy. Like, different games exist, and yes, the games that I play are less popular than the ADD ones. You look at like Roblox and you say, how popular are they? Pretty fucking popular. Games on Roblox are genuinely some of the most successful games in the world. And while they do have a lot of that ADD shit in there, I don't play them, right? And I've developed for Roblox. And I would say they genuinely have some of the best fun game ideas, and it's like one of the best platforms. And I know, having said that, that's really weird for me to say that, but coming from a developer's perspective, I've seen a lot of different angles, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of fun games on that platform that have really good loops, really good game loops, very perfect game loops. And a lot of studios struggle, but for some reason, developers on that platform, they just make games that are fun and people play them. And that's crazy. Now, I just hope that the audience realizes how much time and effort has been poured into this, and what the, especially with mods, what the fucking limit for this thing is. It would be incredible to see a game like this where you can build and where you can do all this stuff and where your friends could play with you, be co-op. Man, for me, it just, again, with the ADD shit, I know that I'm probably pissing some people off because they don't fully understand what I mean by that, but adding mechanics just to wake people up, adding stuff, like when I talked about Satisfactory, I liked Satisfactory. They didn't seem to need a whole lot of, wake me up mechanics where they're like, okay, now a bunch of bugs. Okay, now do super jumps and like fly and we're gonna add swords and we're gonna cut them all up. Haha, that's really fun, guys. Aren't we having fun? I personally, because I'm a developer and because I'm older and because I've had experiences with games back when they were just text, and you're just typing in text and you're just exploring with your mind. And it really is more like a book and an interactive story than anything else. You take a kid nowadays and their average experience and you put them in front of something like that. Dude, these kids will be fucking dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll just be like, oh, like, I'm not kidding. And I think at a certain rate, our media has become dumber. And I think it has to. Because I think the majority, and I'm not saying anything about any particular parent, but I think a lot of people are very apathetic. They really just don't care to live. There is just this underlying thing where everyone just wants to die. Suicide rates are going up. And this is a weird topic for me to talk about because I'm trying to talk about this game. But I think as a developer and as someone who's made games, it's something that I've had to do an uncomfortable amount of research in. And I think when the younger generation has so little hope for things, dopamine hits. Movies that have any sort of emotional depth start to seem like, oh, this is boring. What is this shit? Because that apathy and that, emotional blockage, they can't put themselves in these characters' shoes. They can't connect emotionally to any of the characters. They can't imagine in some cases. Like if you put like a kid in a room and just said, here's a ton of toys, like play, they'll fucking lose their minds, dude. I'm telling you, when I was young, You know, I would create whole fucking stories and stuff, and I would play with like modeling clay, and I was like really creative, and we do all these things, and I think that that has been absolutely atomically leveled in younger generations. But like these companies aren't just selling to people like me, right? You have to put your 60%. You need to make sure that your game, if your idea is to be very commercially successful, you really have to aim for that 60%. You say, who is that 60%? I don't think that this is a game for everybody by any means. They are not aiming for that 60%. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that none of the ADD stuff exists in this, but the reception for it and the hundreds of comments that I saw were people just bashing. I saw it, the trailer, okay, which I assume is this. I saw the trailer and I said, man, this is going to be so fun. I was on Facebook, I saw it, and I was like, well, I wonder what the comments say. And I was floored. I was absolutely floored by the fact that the comments were not positive at all, and that, quite frankly, they, you know, it was like neutral or negative. It was not like super. There would be like, if there was a wall of 200 comments, and I skimmed a lot of them. I mean, I went through the list because I do that. There might have only been like 50 in a 200 comment thing that seemed positive. Most were neutral, but a lot of like, you know, not every game, you know, because look at Borderlands. Look at Borderlands, and that's the kind of shit that is Borderlands fun? Was Borderlands fun? Yeah, I think it was. It's gotten a little old now. I never had problem with just like a little humor. I never had problem with just some writing. Character development, you know. I had a, you know, if you have a character that's, haha, I'm slapstick comedy guy, haha, you know, dude, that's fine. That's totally fine. You'll put that in there. Somebody will like it. Somebody will be like, hey, I really like that character. I'm glad they put that in there. That's the kind of stuff that really, as a developer, you like hearing that. You're like, hey, I noticed that one little thing that y'all did that no one else noticed, and it was really cool. And developers like hearing that because, honestly, jerking themselves off. But overall, I just think that these developers are doing a really good job. I want to get this game, if I can, to more people. And I want to know what you guys think. I answer every single comment. I want to know what you guys think. If you liked it, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, explain why. Like, I really want to know why someone would look at this and just go, nah, I hate it. I want to know why. Because that's one of the biggest things as a developer that we come into. Like, listen, when you go to Steam and you play a game for 500 hours and then you give it a 1-star review and you go, game sucks, lol. That doesn't help the developer at all. And I know it's not meaning to help the developer, but, you know, you've got people out there playing an ungodly amount of hours and then saying the game sucks. Like, you're addicted to the game sucks. Play for 500 hours? Oh, sorry about that. You play for 500 hours and the game sucks. But when you actually sit there and you take the time and you tell the developer, you say, look, developers, here's what's wrong. Pros and cons. Here's what we really liked. Here's what I really hated. You know, these are the things that's wrong. This was my personal experience. I had a real problem learning the tech tree, and the tech tree was like, I don't know, it's really weird. I didn't understand the benefits. It was just like, I didn't like it. And so I'm going to rate your game lower than I would. Okay? I just think that if you put a comment on the video and you've seen stuff about this and you do not like this game, I'd like to see what was it that really did it. Because I can't wrap my head around it. Because this might be from me perspective. That's why I want different perspective. It might be my perspective is skewed. But I'm excited for the game. I really am. Anyway, leave a comment. I answer every single comment. If you like this and you want more in-depth bitching, I do this all the time. Okay? I am your best and only Jackbox impersonator that exists on YouTube, and I would like to see you in my other videos, so you subscribe, and see you in the next one.